Daryl Franklin Hohl, professionally known as Daryl Hall, is an American rock, R&B and soul singer, keyboardist, guitarist, songwriter and producer, best known as the co-founder and lead vocalist of Hall Oates. Hall scored several Billboard chart hits in the 1970s and early 1980s, and is regarded as one of the best soul singers of his generation. Guitarist Robert Fripp, who collaborated with him in the late 1970s and early 1980s, has written, "Daryl's pipes were a wonder. I have never worked with a more able singer." Since late 2007, he has hosted the web television series, Live from Daryl's House. He was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2004. Early life and career: Daryl Franklin Hohl was born in Pottstown, a Pennsylvania borough 40 miles from Philadelphia. His parents each had a background in music. His father was a professional singer and his mother was a vocal coach. He started recording while still a student at Owen J. Roberts High School, from which he graduated in 1965. In college at Temple University in Philadelphia, he majored in music, while continuing to record, working with Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff as both an artist and a session musician. During his first semester at Temple, in the fall of 1965, he and 4 other white Temple University students formed the vocal harmony group the Temptones. They were popular additions to the largely black Philly soul scene, defeating both the Ambassadors and the Delphonics in a contest at the Uptown Theater. The Temptones recorded a handful of singles for Arctic Records, produced by Jimmy Bishop. While performing at the Uptown Theater, Hall formed creative affiliations with such artists as Smokey Robinson, The Temptations, and many other top soul singers of the 1960s. In 1967, he met John Oates, who was also an undergraduate at Temple University. According to Daryl Hall, "They met when we got in the middle of a fight at a dance. I have no idea what the fight was about. I guess the Greek letters on one gang's jackets didn't appeal to the other gang. We both beat it out the back and met on the elevator while leaving the place rather quickly." Hall was by then a senior, while Oates was a freshman. He played together until Oates transferred to a different school at age 19. Daryl did not let Oates's departure discourage him from pursuing his own musical career. He dropped out of college in 1968 and worked with Tim Moore in a short-lived rock band, Gulliver, and released an album on the Elektra Records label. In 1969, Hall again began recording songs by other artists, which led to the duo signing their first record contract in early 1972. Hall and Oates. Signed to Atlantic by Ahmet Ertegun and managed by Tommy Mottola in the early 1970s, Hall and Oates have sold more albums than any other duo in music history. Their second album, Abandoned Lumkionet, produced by Arif Mardin and released in 1973, yielded the single, She's Gone, which went to No. 7 in the U.S. Top 10 on re-release in 1976 after reaching No. 1 on the R&B charts when it was covered by Tevez. The duo recorded one more album with Atlantic, War Babies, before they were dropped and promptly signed to RCA. During their tenure at RCA, the duo catapulted to international superstardom. From the mid-1970s to the mid-1980s, Hall and Oates scored 6 U.S. No. 1 singles, including Rich Girl, Kiss on My List, Private Eyes, I Can't Go For That, Man-Eater, and Out of Touch from their 6 multi-platinum albums, Bigger Than Both of Us, Voices, Private Eyes, H2O, Rock and Soul Part 1 and Big Bam Boom, the last 5 of which were released consecutively. The era also produced an additional 6 U.S. top 10 singles, Sarah Smile, One on One, Family Man, You Make My Dreams, Say It Isn't So, and Method of Modern Love. The duo were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2014. Solo projects: in addition to his work with Oates, Hall has made music as a solo artist, as well as recording with Robert Fripp in the later 70s, working on Fripp a unregistered trademark-s critically praised Exposure album from 1979. In 1977 Fripp produced and performed on Hall's debut solo album, the much-acclaimed Sacred Songs. This album was released in 1980. In 1984, he co-wrote and produced, with Arthur Baker, the single Swept Away for Diana Ross, which reached US No. A19, US R&B No. A3 and US Dance Club Play No. A1. In 1985, Hall performed 2 songs in the first Farm Aid concert in Champaign, Illinois. Hall participated in the We Are the World session as well as closing the Live Aid show in Philadelphia. He also made an album with Dave Stewart that year, 3 Hearts and the Happy Ending Machine. He has recorded such solo works as Soul Alone in 1993 and Can't Stop Dreaming in 1996, both of which were received well internationally. In 1994 composed Gloryland that was the original soundtrack of the 1994 FIFA World Cup. In July 2005, Hall was diagnosed with Lyme disease causing him to cancel a majority of Hall & Oates' summer tour. The duo released a Christmas album in October 2006 titled Home for Christmas. In 2007, Hall guest-starred on the HBO series Flight of the Conchords, playing an MC of a world music festival. On November 14, 2007, Hall appeared on The Howard Stern Show, discussed his hatred of deer and rabbits, prompted by his career-threatening bout with Lyme disease, sang acoustic versions of Sarah's Smile and Rich Girl, and talked about his new monthly performance weekcast called Live from Daryl's House. The weekcast has so far featured appearances by Katie Tunstall, Joe Walsh, Rob Thomas, Eric Hutchinson, and gym class heroes Travis McCoy, as well as a holiday special featuring songs from the Hall & Oates release, Home for Christmas. The show featured guests Ray Manzarek and Robbie Krieger of The Doors. Speaking of his reasons for starting the Live from Daryl's House weekcast, in June 2008 Hall told noted UK R&B writer Pete Lewis of the award-winning Blues and Soul, "For me it was sort of an obvious thing. I've been touring my whole adult life really, and, you can't be everywhere. Nor do I want to be everywhere at this point. I only like to spend so much time per year on the road. So I thought, why don't I just do something where anyone who wants to see me anywhere in the world can? And, instead of doing the artist-audience performance type thing, I wanted to deconstruct it and make the audience more of a fly-on-the-wall kind of observer. I mean, what I've always done on stage is very natural. I talk to the audience and it's a very sitting roomy kind of thing. So I just thought I'd basically bring that to the web." On March 12, 2008, Hall played a well-received set with his band at the South by Southwest Festival in Austin, Texas. Hall was slated to sing the national anthem of the United States before Game 5 of the 2008 World Series at Philadelphia's Citizens Bank Park but, due to an illness, could not appear, and Oates sang it instead. In 2009, Hall guest-starred on the independent film channel series, Z-Rock. In 2010, Hall was back in the studio working on a solo recording with bassist and musical director, T-Bone Walk. Walk died of a heart attack on February 28, 2010, hours after completing a session with Hall. Hall released a statement about the death of his bassist of nearly 30 years, a Euro unregistered trademark as not if I will go on, but how. T-Bone was one of the most sensitive and good human beings that I have ever known. On June 11, 2010. Hall shared the stage with electronic duo Chromeo for a special late-night set at the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival. The groups had previously collaborated in a 2008 episode of Live from Daryl's House. Their Bonnaroo set consisted of a mix of both Hall and Oates and Chromeo tracks with the encore featuring Fancy Footwork and You Make My Dreams. Hall hosted WGN America's 2010 New Year's Eve coverage as a Live from Daryl's House special. The special featured clips of previous Live from Daryl's House episodes. Steve Dahl, a Chicago radio host, praised the special as the best New Year's Eve special on television for 2010 11, but criticized the show's lack of a live countdown to midnight. On September 27, 2011 Daryl Hall released Laughing Down Crying on Verve Records. On August 12, 2011, UK electronic duo Nero released their debut album Welcome Reality, which features guest vocals by Hall on the track Reaching Out, which also samples Hall and Oates' 80s hit Out of Touch. Reaching Out was released as the sixth single on December 6, 2011. Personal life: Hall had a 30-plus-year relationship with songwriter Sarah Allen which ended in 2001 for undisclosed reasons. They were never married nor had any children. He was married to Bryna Lublin from 1969 to 1972. He is now married to Amanda Aspinall and lives with her and his two stepchildren, March and Orson. March does backing vocals on songs Save Me, Message to Ya, and Eyes for You on Daryl's 2011 album, Laughing Down Crying. Hall restores and preserves historic homes in both the United States and England. In 2008, he purchased the 18th-century Bray House, in Kittery Point, Maine and is in the process of restoring it. He also has restored a Georgian-style home in London, England, first built in 1740, with direct waterfront access to the River Thames. He purchased two homes located near Hartford, Connecticut, one built in 1771, the other in 1780, and had them moved to the same property in New York's Dutchess County where they were combined and restored. After having the houses moved, he discovered that both homes, by coincidence, were connected to the same family. Starting in 2007, Daryl Hall started hosting a show called Live from Daryl's House, which features live music acts in a podcast videocast from his home in Charleston, South Carolina. Hit singles: Hall has written or co-written 11 Billboard #1 songs, She's Gone, Rich Girl, Kiss on My List, Private Eyes, I Can't Go For That, Say It Isn't So, Man Eater, Out of Touch, Every Time You Go Away, and Do It For Love. Hall also sang lead vocals and has written or co-written 8 more popular Billboard songs that also made it to the top 10, such as Adult Education, Sarah Smile, Method of Modern Love, You Make My Dreams, Everything Your Heart Desires, One on One, So Close, and Did It in a Minute. He has also had hits as a vocalist, reaching no. 12 with his 1980 rendition of the Righteous Brothers' You've Lost That Loving Feeling, and no. 6 with 1983's Family Man, written by Mike Oldfield. Discography, albums, singles, references. External links: the official Hall & Oates website, Live from Daryl's House, Daryl Hall at the Internet Movie Database.